Let me make one thing absolutely clear. Your thoughts are building your future, brick by brick, day by day. And if you don't learn how to think correctly, you'll remain stuck in a prison made of your own mind. Success doesn't start with action. It doesn't start with resources. It starts with thought. Controlled, focused, dominant thought. If you master that, nothing will be denied to you. If you ignore it, life will punish you with confusion, mediocrity, and regret. You are where you are right now because of the way you've been thinking. Don't look around, don't blame, don't defend. You got yourself here. That's the truth. And if you want to get somewhere else, somewhere higher, stronger, freer, you must rewire the engine that drives everything, your mind. The masses walk around hypnotized by fear, worry, distraction, and weakness. They think reactively. They let the world tell them what to feel, what to do, what to think. But you're here for more. You're here to rise. And that rise begins with a radical change in your thinking. You must reject low-level thoughts like poison. Doubt is a virus. Fear is a thief. Excuses are anchors. Get rid of all of them. Correct thinking is not just positive thinking. That's surface-level fluff. Correct thinking is controlled, self-directed, iron-willed thinking. It means you don't allow a single thought to stay in your mind unless it serves your goal. It means waking up with purpose, visualizing your victory before the world even sees it. It means becoming ruthless with your focus. Most people can't concentrate for 5 minutes. Winners concentrate for 5 years. That's the gap. Your thoughts are instructions. Every time you think I can't, your body listens. Every time you think it's too hard, your progress slows. But when you think I will, I must, and it's already mine, you reprogram your inner world. That's the difference between those who struggle and those who conquer. Correct thinking doesn't wait for evidence. It creates it. You don't need to see the path to start walking. You don't need applause to stay committed. You don't need guarantees to bet on yourself. All you need is a dominant, definite purpose and the mental discipline to think of nothing else. You were born with the most powerful tool in the universe, your mind. But no one teaches you how to use it. So you drift, you wish, you hesitate. Not anymore. From this moment, you take command of your thoughts. You train them. You don't let them wander. You don't feed them junk. You don't allow toxic voices, gossip, or complaints to enter your mental gates. Your mind is a fortress. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. Every great leader, every wealthy builder, every world shaker, what did they have first? A thought, a burning belief, a vision they would not surrender. They planted that thought in their mind and protected it like gold. While others wasted their thoughts on distractions and doubts, the great ones stayed loyal to the vision in their mind. And that's what I'm teaching you today. Not just how to think, but how to think correctly. Strong, strategic, unstoppable. The kind of thinking that builds empires from nothing, that turns pain into power, and that never bows to circumstance. You don't need more luck, you don't need more money, you don't need more friends, you need more focus, more mental clarity, more intensity of thought. The people who rise aren't lucky, they're laser focused. Their thoughts are weapons, their vision is fire, their mind is trained like a machine. You can't afford weak thinking anymore. It costs you too much, it costs you years, it costs you peace, it costs you greatness. You must choose now to upgrade your internal software. Delete everything that holds you back. Upload belief, upload discipline, upload courage. Think thoughts that energize. Think thoughts that commit. Think thoughts that destroy all possibility of failure. When your thinking changes, everything else obeys. You move different. You speak with certainty. You take risks. You win. Because here's the truth. You are one thought away from changing your life. One correct thought. One firm decision. One refusal to ever again let your mind betray your mission. Train your mind. Rule your world. Think correctly, and no one can stop you. Let me know if you want a 150-word YouTube description, SEO title, tags, or high CTR thumbnail text for this speech. Every achievement begins with disciplined thought. Not hope, not luck, not wishing. The real power lies in thought that has been trained, sharpened, and directed like a blade. Undisciplined thinking leads to wasted years. Scattered thinking leads to scattered results. But when your mind becomes focused, ruthlessly focused, your life begins to obey your command. The world moves for the one who knows exactly what they think, exactly what they want, and refuses to allow anything less into their mental space. Weak minds wander. Strong minds conquer. And every person who has ever risen from obscurity to greatness has done so by first mastering their inner world. The mind is the battlefield, and thought is the weapon. You don't win with talent if your mind is scattered. You don't succeed with potential if your thinking is soft. It's not enough to want something. You must think in a way that demands it into reality. Your thoughts are not harmless. They are instructions. Every day you are building your future with the sentences running through your mind. If you think with doubt, fear, and confusion, your life will reflect it. If you think with power, precision, and purpose, your results will transform. You don't become successful by accident. You become successful because you made the decision to think like a winner when the world offered you every excuse to think like a victim. And that is where the separation begins. Winners think differently. They don't allow temporary failure to become permanent defeat. They don't think in terms of problems. They think in terms of solutions, action, and results. They know the cost of a single weak thought is far greater than any temporary setback. Their mind is their shield, their sword, and their strategy. If you want to achieve something you've never had, you must start thinking in ways you've never thought. Most people are prisoners of the same recycled thoughts. They wake up thinking about stress, scarcity, comparison, and fear. Then they wonder why life never changes. You can't live an extraordinary life with ordinary thinking. You can't dominate if your thoughts are disorganized. You must become relentless in the way you think. Choose your thoughts the way a warrior chooses his weapon. Filter out every idea that makes you shrink, hesitate, or quit. Those thoughts are not yours. They've been planted by failure, by fear, by society. Remove them, burn them. Replace them with thought that aligns with strength, vision, and victory. Thinking correctly is not motivational fluff. It is the foundation of every outcome in your life. If your mind isn't disciplined, you will fall to every distraction. The undisciplined thinker is controlled by emotion, but the one who rules their thoughts rules their emotions. They don't panic when things get hard. They don't collapse when things get uncertain. They anchor their mind to purpose and press forward. Correct thinking makes you unstoppable because it turns problems into plans and struggle into strategy. It makes you calm under pressure. It makes you decisive in chaos. It makes you bold when others crumble. That's the power of mastering your thoughts. The difference between an average life and a powerful life is the ability to think with precision, regardless of circumstances. Every successful individual you've ever admired had moments of darkness, but their thinking didn't collapse. They kept the picture of their vision clear. They repeated it until it drowned out every voice of failure. That's not magic. That's mental discipline. You don't wait for confidence. You build it by thinking as if you already possess what you desire. You don't wait for clarity. You create it by stripping away distraction and choosing a single focus. That's what correct thinking does. It gives you the edge the world can't take away. It gives you strength that no crisis can break. It gives you direction in a world of noise. Train your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Do not let your brain wander into the territory of fear, laziness, or self-pity. That is the mental poison that steals years from people. It destroys ambition. It kills potential. You must treat your mind like sacred ground. Guard it, clean it, sharpen it, strengthen it. Do not tolerate toxic thinking even for a second. When a weak thought shows up, attack it. Replace it. Reinforce the thought that builds your power, not your doubt. You are the commander of your mind. Never forget that. No one else will train it for you. If you don't take control, the world will. And it will fill your head with confusion, comparison, and cowardice. You are better than that. You are built for more. Every single day, you have the opportunity to shape your destiny by shaping your thoughts. Choose the thoughts of strength, certainty, and discipline. Choose the thoughts that support your mission. Every time you think I can, you move closer to your goal. Every time you visualize success, you build the bridge to reach it. Correct thinking is not a skill, it's a commitment. It's a daily decision to reject weakness and embrace mastery. It's the refusal to let your mind become soft in a world that rewards distraction. It's the decision to focus like your future depends on it, because it does. You don't need perfect conditions to start winning. You need perfect mental alignment. You need to think with such clarity that your actions become inevitable. You need to think with such conviction that no obstacle can talk you out of your dream. The battle is in your thoughts. Win there and everything else will follow. Don't wait, don't hesitate. Discipline your mind, strengthen your thoughts. Think like the person you were meant to become, and then become it. You become what you habitually think. This is not a metaphor. It is not a suggestion, it is law. What you repeatedly allow in your mind begins to shape your identity, your behavior, your attitude, and eventually your entire reality. Thought is the original force. Everything you are, everything you will be, is a direct result of what you choose to think over and over again. Your habits begin in the mind. Your emotions begin in the mind. Your actions begin in the mind. The dominant thought you hold is the invisible sculptor of your life. It carves your confidence, your fears, your patterns, your beliefs. And most people never stop to question the thoughts they repeat daily. They absorb the noise of the world and make it their identity, not realizing they are choosing weakness every time they allow a negative thought to stay. You do not rise by chance. You rise by repetition. And repetition of the right thought builds the strongest version of you. Every time you say, I can't, your nervous system believes it. Every time you imagine failure, your emotions follow. Every time you mentally replay your past disappointments, your future shrinks. But if you flip the script, if you begin to habitually think, I can, I will, I must, you activate parts of your brain and body that were dormant. Your energy changes, your posture shifts, your focus sharpens, and your decisions begin to reflect someone who expects to win, not someone who fears losing. That is the quiet revolution that begins when you master your thoughts. It's not instant, it's not flashy, but it is powerful. Because what you do every day becomes who you are, and what you think every day becomes what you do. The truth is, every failure you've experienced began in thought. Every time you hesitated, every time you quit, every time you played small, it started with a thought you accepted as truth. You didn't fail because of what happened. You failed because of how you interpreted it in your mind. And that means your freedom is already within reach. You don't need to change the world around you first. You need to change the conversation inside your head. The words you say to yourself matter more than any outside opinion. If your inner language is negative, hesitant, weak, or uncertain, your life will match it. But if you make it strong, focused, relentless, and empowered, everything begins to shift in your favor. Your mind was designed to obey your dominant thoughts. It will follow your instructions whether they build you or destroy you. So choose carefully, because thought is not passive. It is the beginning of all transformation. You must reprogram your mind like your future depends on it, because it does. And the process is not mystical, it is mechanical. Just like a muscle grows with repeated resistance, your mindset strengthens with repeated focus. You must decide which thoughts deserve to stay and which ones must be rejected immediately. This is not optional if you want to win. You cannot afford to entertain self-doubt even for a moment. You cannot afford to dwell in the past. You cannot afford to replay your mistakes like a broken record. The cost of those thoughts is too high. They drain your potential, they delay your mission, and they distort your identity. You are not your past. You are not your failure. You are not your fear. You are the thinker behind it, and you have the power to choose again. Every day you must wake up and feed your mind the thoughts that match your purpose. Just like you feed your body, you must feed your spirit. Speak power into your mind before the world speaks confusion into it. Visualize the future you want until it becomes more real than the distractions trying to pull you away. Surround yourself with thoughts that multiply your faith, not your fear. And never allow the noise of the world to be louder than the voice inside you that says, I was made for more. If you let that voice die, your dreams die with it. But if you fuel it, protect it, strengthen it, it will become unstoppable. What you habitually think becomes what you unconsciously do. And what you unconsciously do becomes what you inevitably achieve. That's the chain. That's the truth. You don't have to force success. You just have to think in alignment with it long enough, consistently enough, and intensely enough. And your habits, behavior, and results will catch up. The only reason most people don't rise is because they never take full control of their thought process. They allow old programming, false beliefs, and emotional wounds to dictate what they think. But you are not most people. You are here because you want to break the pattern. And breaking the pattern begins with breaking the thought that built it. You cannot afford to be lazy with your mind. The price is too high. A weak mind will accept failure before it even tries. A weak mind will create excuses instead of outcomes. A weak mind will accept limitations that were never real to begin with. But a strong mind does the opposite. A strong mind sees through the fear. A strong mind creates new paths. A strong mind builds new possibilities even when none seem available. And that kind of mind is not born, it is built. It is built through daily, disciplined, habitual thinking that aligns with strength, not weakness. With courage, not doubt. With clarity, not confusion. With intention, not reaction. Repetition of power thoughts changes everything. Repeat who you are until you become it. Repeat what you believe until nothing can shake it. Repeat the vision of your future until it becomes the only outcome you accept. Your thinking is your foundation. Your thinking is your weapon. And your thinking is your responsibility.